Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the coaches at TradeView Markets. It is September 12th. It's a Monday. Okay, I'm back. Listen, it's going to be a full week for me. I took a couple, I was in and out, doing a lot of some traveling, some family things, but it's a full week and it's going to be continued to. As a matter of fact, as it gets, everybody shouldn't, if they don't know, I live in upstate New York and was in the city for some time last week. So once it snows, the commissions go up and we hunker down. So I'm ready. Round three. It's the end of the quarter. This end of this month. So yeah, we're gonna kill it. And we're gonna kill it at the end of the quarter. Believe me, it's my strongest quarter always, and over a strong, a huge sample size. So everybody, I think, is getting a lot. It's definitely growing. Coach, great calls, or one of my mentors, at least, who says your worst critic when it comes to putting out the product is we always try to put the best we can, just so everybody can get used to the process. Really, I'm not going to try to take this to it's going to be, it's more predominantly teaching. I'm not trying to blow it up and be a superstar. I'm trying to get content. You know what I mean? So with that being said, let's sign in. So good morning and hope everybody had a good weekend. I sign in just the same as everybody else. TradeGATEHub, how you doing? Okay. Now, for those that haven't been in the swing of things, and it doesn't look like anybody here is gapped up despite SPF market. Was it tell? There was a tell, coach. I'm trying to not get distracted. All right. So the most important thing is that when I was in and out last week, the past couple of weeks, is go to the Red YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel. The team set up. Pardon. Here's the videos. Now, we're really going for a long time steady here. Now we have Coach and I do a video once a day, 4 days a week. Coach is on actually 5 days a week because he's a real trading warrior. But we're going down back 9 months ago. Okay, so we're going strong, and there's our playlist, if you will, going back on the YouTube channel, just so you get a feel for what we do. If you just don't wake up and you're not really born a Dallas Cowboy fan, although you should be, you actually have to watch some games first, or some uncle brings you to the games. Something attracts you to that team. So, this is, if you're signing on like now, as I said, go back and look at everything, sign on to what we're doing, just so when it comes to game time, everybody can start cheering. We can all be in the game together. I want to sound corny, but it is what it is. All right. So getting back to today. All right. Monday, always the most important date of the week. And it's not going to change because Monday, unless they start trading on Sundays. So Monday, most important. Okay. So if I'm posting Monday morning and the data, it's a lot. Listen, if anybody, absorbs the data in a half an hour, A, you're not doing it well. And B, I don't believe you. So, all this is for me, me as well. Go back to the Red YouTube channel, and I'm going to go over Monday's data. It's the most important. So pause it. I even showed my screen, which I do a lot. So really, just it also, to finish it off, Monday's the most important because it's dynamic. Tuesday, I don't just post data. Boom, shut the computer down, and we're done. Turn the computer on Tuesday and just start all over again. It's not. It's almost like the mail. It never stops. You know what I mean? Just, you don't have to get consumed or inundated, but inundated by it. But I like to go week to week. So Monday, here we go. Starting off with our macro views. Okay. Then I go to the short-term sentiment. Always, this actually is always even in order all the time. Pardon. I was up early. Okay, commodity and CTA index. Now, let me give you another example of what we do and how it even worked today. So here's the CTA tracker, and everybody knows, even going forward, how I post a lot with sentiment. So remember back, what was it, a month ago, maybe the market ripped, whatever it was, okay? Everybody was completely underinvested in the S&P and the NASDAQ. Just track the S&P to the NASDAQ. Now everybody's a non-believer again, even if the market had a nice bounce up. So what bounced, 15 to 18%, it pulled back 4%, 5%. The numbers are skewed or going back all the time, whatever it is. But this is what I also wanted to pull up. You know what? And I also pulled up some bearish things. It's actually how you interpret it. Sometimes there's a chart that blows your hair back, whatever is left. Sentiment trader, everybody follows him. He's got a gazillion guys. In 22 years of doing this, None stand alone out like this one, which why the ways I don't know why the VIX is so low is the institutions bought a record amount of hedges. So as the market is going up and they keep hedging that it's going down, the chance of a retest are lower because and I'll even go even a step further with the hedge funds and even Goldman. Short-term sentiment. By the way, the shorter the time frame is a very important point. I don't want to jump ahead. The worse the hedging is. Why? Because if you're going to hedge, the shorter the time frame in a hedging period, you're essentially trying to time the market. If you're hedging something going out a year, you're not really you're not going to really, it doesn't really matter if you're going to get the top or the bottom. But the more short term the hedges, the more, usually that you're trying to time the market, and you know what happens when you time the market, probably usually wrong. Yes, the professionals, you're a little bit early on their market timing if they will, but certainly when the retail people are trying to time the market or put on hedges, even Goldman's very lightly positions. And see that going back, whatever it was, a month and a half ago, when Goldman wasn't that lightly positioned, the market rallied, credit default swaps, about all that. But this is the most important. Hedge fund exposure. When they were the lowest they've been in some time, whatever it was, a year and a half, the market ripped. So now they're not really they're not a believer anymore. You have to correlate these charts to the S&P. Once again, I say it all the time. It's a tool. It's something to use. I even posted something before on the flip side, if you will, and it's this. I don't mean to jump through. Coach is beautiful. Hedge fund see, this is what's most important now. Also to go with sentiment. And it ties in together because if you're not a believer, you're not going to jump in with both feet. Illiquidity is the new leverage, and flows are more important than fundamentals. So whatever. Yeah, Zim is cheap and whatever. I think Snapchat is over about 12. Doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And it goes back to what Helene says in a grand scheme of thing, that there's nothing like price that changes sentiment. It's hard. It's so hard to break an opinion in the market. A lot easier to break a bad habit. If you're a concentrator, whatever they say, it's 28 days to 30 days to break a habit, we'll break the habit. But it's so hard to break an opinion. Just try to go what you see, because you know what? There are a lot smarter people out there than us, aside from Coach, that, you have to believe in this theory or you're just going to get wiped out with your opinion or your ego for us older guys. All right. So Monday morning data, an example of exactly what we do. And to go forward, we always post lean charts as I see this going through here. All right, sentiment, real time. I don't put this out. This goes on several Twitter feeds. I don't make it up. It's not a graph I pull up in the middle of the night. It's a well-known indicator. It's up to you how you like to determine it. I think it's bullish. I mean, if the market's making a move like this and Goldman's still on the sidelines, what it's going to take at one point, they're going to have to say, okay, I believe. And even if the market's going up like this, if the market were to pull back, everybody's going to say, I at least want to put my toe in. It's right now with, you know what, another thing that'll edify my point, or at least back my point, is this, in which the Rev said, I post them all the time. Oh no, it's the other one he said. Rev gets it. This was later in the day. Very important. Also said that when QQQs are the breadth is just not, there was towards this, it's not sustainable without unless the VIX, that's something else. But it was so it had to do about fear of missing, not fear of missing out, fear of underperforming. When stocks are moving like this, I get what they're saying. There seems to be a lot of optimism out there, but that's why the bear market bounces tend to be so strong. Well, you know what? I'll have to go up. I'll have to move on. And trust me for it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up again and post it. It's fear of underperforming. Now, Apple was sitting at 155. It's 162. Here, let's go to the chart for example. With Apple, if you will. Let's go to Apple. Let's go to share screen. Boom, Apple chart. All right. So yes, Apple was the sweet spot that we're buying. Coach, correct this if I'm wrong, or go back to the YouTube channel last week. I started buying at 158 to 155. So my average price was like 156 and a half. So my average price is right here. Okay, it's the gap actually. I didn't like the way it fell below the 200-day. Things aren't really, from a technical standpoint, if you will. things weren't really coiling. It wasn't really like plummeting on the moving average wasn't coiling. The 200-day, which is the green line, the money day, always the money day, was just sitting, it was waffling below, above and below, but the sentiment, the RSI going back some time was washed out there. And there wasn't really that much bad news in the market to the point where maybe Apple's a little specific with the launch, and you can interpret that the way you want it, but apparently they shrugged it off. So our bottom line was Apple price was like probably I didn't really realize it tended to be at the gap at 157. So here it is. But my point being is now people feel now Apple people are saying, trust me, Apple held the 200-day. Now this is support. I have fear of missing out. What's going to go wrong if I'm an Apple? I'm a putz for not buying it at 150. Nobody says you got to hit the nail on the head with 152, but certainly within this little gap area, 200-day of the gap at 155 to 157, you certainly should have said, let me know. Maybe I'll dip my toe in, but Apple's an example of fear of missing out. So I'll go with some of the charts afterwards. And what time is it? Am I getting this? No, it's good. We're good. All right. So sentiment credit default swaps. You don't have to read the business pages to know that credit default swaps are what's really moving the inflationary hedging, if you will, in the market. All you have to do, listen, it's not, if I don't explain it well, you go to either Investopedia or credit default swaps, right? And then you go to what? Even I saw 2022. Boom. 2022. Boom. Explained. That's and as maybe if I don't explain it well or I don't articulate it so well, it's a little bit of my, then start to get you when I'm posting this, the charts, the bottom line is low. Charts always in. Listen, the credit default swaps are low, the market's high on the inverse. So all they do is inverse. Hedge sector sentiment, Lewis. I'm happy to, and I'm sure you're happy to see us with that one back. Go over them after the wave theory. This is the wave theory. I posted it for Jobo, who's not in today. We're worried, so here we are. That's it's just an opinion. It's a tool. Today's focus, always today's focus. And by the way, on Mondays, always a scheduled economic releases for the week. Always a weekly focus. There's a weekly plan. That's why you should go over it a little bit. It's just not just going over the video, because what you do is this is the weekly plan, what I would do. But what I used to do, there's the plan. I get my pad out and I go Monday, Tuesday, I get the proverbial grid, and that's my plan. At least for economic numbers. And if you don't have a plan and know what numbers are coming out, you have no edge, and probably over time you're going to get more unlucky than you're lucky. Always today's focus. Helene's charts, that's a Monday morning ritual. As I said, go over them. There are some good charts here, including was the GLD. As Coach will edify today, beautiful call on the GLD and SLV. Newmont still up $1 after Goldman upgrade. A chance. This is why when I was away, if you will, or wasn't glued to the screen, not in an unhealthy way, I missed it, but something like Newmont, you know what I mean? That's why I'm not. It's not like I'm fearing one of these low floaters that you have to really watch. If you have something like Newmont, yes, you're not going to pick the top of the bottom, but much like the Apple trade, it was washed out. See that red volume there? That was capitulation, especially on that red to green day where it had it with big volume. You see that sold it all the way there, sold it all the way there. That had the big green volume. It capitulated with the RSI, not making new lows. Listen, I don't know if it's over. It's above the 8 to 20 day. It could be, it's got this triangle thing forming. I don't know what to think. I'll leave that to professionals, and that's Coach. What's going on here? Am I looking at? Oh, yeah. Amazon, where's that? I short a little Amazon. Why I short Amazon? Why? Because it's up a lot. That's not a real reason. I didn't think I would get, it's just the third day up, how I am. It's a baby trade. I took off a little before I came here. It's a nothing trade, but I did short. I'm not going to lie. Going back to TGH. Monday morning again, Helene's charts. Beautiful. Well done. GLD. Housing and GLD charts, both active in TGH topics. Another one, the DXY, the dollar. Kramer has a couple of macro plans. Read it. Also, I wanted you to watch the videos. Watch out now. That was Mike Santoli's recap from Friday. It was just out again. What was happening now? I said, just watch. What was it about? The major averages are coming off their first week in a positive month. So Mike Santoli dissertates about what you might look for in the week. So we give you Kramer, Mike Santoli, our opinion, Coach, and basic, tools that we use. I'm not bearish or biased. I'm always mixed. Everybody knows that. Also, big movers in the morning. You could blow this up by. We have to blow it. I don't have time to blow it up. These are the movers, up and down. Inside days, bullish outside weeks. Last week, here's my plan. Here's the plan today. Short-term sentiment. Now, I hope I answered your question a little bit, G-Money, all right? We'll get it back into it. VYDTYX, hot stock of the day. Look at it. Marry the GLD trade. The Nougat. Let's give an example in the Nougat. You know what? I was reluctant to go in the Nougat because I've been yelling at Lewis for a decade now not to buy triple ETFs off the top and the bottom. But just like the theory, the volume came in, and usually when something like a GLD, which is obviously goes with NUGT, is going that way, the triple ETFs are leveraged towards options, and they tend to unwind a lot quicker than the actual equity or whatever instrument themselves. So Nougat, yeah, it was a sexy trade, and then it was going to take some time. It based, was washed out. I got a little bit. What's my price? 25.73, 29. I don't have the 20 or whatever 30 I really want. What's going on here? They're getting me in something. Nothing going on. Coin. Vertex, this VTX came in. Okay, back to TGH because we're going to wrap it up. But you know what? We really don't have to because you can go back and play the YouTube channel. See that Gerard Moss was down 6%, and so was when Gerard tells me that, then I look at Moss, and then I look at CF, and then I look at ADM, and then I look at IPI, and then I look at them all. Roblox positive. Roblox had a really bad downgrade. It was down $2, went positive. It doesn't mean it's going to stay positive. Matter of fact, it's down 27 cents. It's just indicative of how the market is taking news at the moment, no matter if it's a short squeeze or whatever. It really doesn't matter. It's just one of those quotes more. Fundamentals really don't matter. You know what I mean? Just go with it. It's just a step above that at the moment. NIO keeps going. Okay, put 2 and 2 together. Here's 2 and 2 together. And Rev gets the picture with what? Why did Rev get the picture? Because of this. Oh, you know what? I failed to post it. That's why I didn't do it with the Rev. I'll get back to it. Rev gets the picture. I took it off for some reason. All right. So getting back to what I'm saying. Nothing like price. QQQ. When the QQQ breadth is 94 gain is to 8 decline, it's evident that the end of season ETFs are driving the action. I agree. Some stocks are not going right. The market's going up below mine not. VIX gapped up. I'm going to have to get the coach's video. First of all, my second thing that I do after I sign off is go watch Coach's 9:30 video again. And tomorrow, Coach and I are going to be on. I can't wait for Tuesdays. I love Tuesdays. And what's moving? Let's go to what the wise guys are doing as of 11. Here's the SPYs chart on the SPYs. Coming up to a little resistance, which is the 21-day is the white. The 200-day everybody knows is the G money. Third day up. You know, let's see if they're going to hold these Microsofts still below the moving averages. What is pins doing? Something like a pins still below the moving averages, but has a nice move. It still looks like a huge move. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla flagging nicely, going up again. A nice 4 or 5 day move, needs rest, but you know what? Certainly, I'm not shorting it. It's the ultimate compliment. XBI, I'm shorted now because why? Can't go. This is today's chart on the XBI. Futures are heading, I'm short some XBI, whatever, trade. Oxy, Devon, what are we looking at? Bed Bath & Beyond. Carvana got a big upgrade, can't hold gains. DLO, GLBE. Now the market's going down and GLBE is going. So I sat in this GLBE, I sold it. Now it was 1360 all morning. And by the way, this is the chart of the Qs. Qs are going down in GLBE. That's why sometimes these stocks in good uptrends, you can't watch them. Everybody knows I like this chart, and you should. Good earnings, acted well after the earnings, had a natural pullback, hold the moving averages. It's been holding well with volume, as it was evident on Friday. But you know what? As I say, the QQQs are going down now, which is the NASDAQ, and GLBE couldn't go, so I sold the majority of it, at least in the trading account. But now I turn around, and since I started the video, it goes from 33.68 to 34.50. I would have 4,200 shares. It's a difference of $3,200. You know what I mean? Come on. Why you got to do that to me? Something's happening here. Good. XBI is going down exponentially. XBI. Just that. How can I see the XPI? Listen, I don't care what you do. This is the trade view or Tim Theory relativity. The XPI is down on the day negative, and it's rotating properly, and the market's up nicely below the moving averages. Maybe I covered $85. It's 87. I'll see how it acts. I started this by saying, let's look at the wise guys are doing. I'm going to stick to it. So I'm getting back into a rhythm. It's only Monday, but you guys can tell I'm going to get in there. Notifications. Strides. Thank you, Strides. Gina Franco. Thanks, Gina. Doing a good job here heading the division of TradeGATEHub recently. Thank you, Gina. All right. EFA bullish. Now, see, this is what I'm thinking. When I pull up the Jesus feed and I see AMC, EFA, well, there's Apple. Amazon calls Apple bullish. I was going to say that there's nothing really going on right there. AMD bullish. Well, how far is this guy going out? June. All right. So this guy's saying, I'm taking a $38,000 bet in June. That's not really sticking your neck out. I could do that right now if I wanted. If I did that, would I make Jesus feed? I can buy $38,000 worth of calls going out in the next 9 months. BC, the buying boats, don't care. Wendy's, Oxy bullish. Warren's in it again. JP positioning on JP Morgan. I'll go over that afterwards. All right. So where's the VIX? The VIX right here is coming into a 9er, I think. So the VIX is coming into a little bit of support. If there is nothing anti-VIX, the market's pulling back. All right, looks like some put positions closing is starting to rail on PayPal. We like it. This is the bottom line. Not seeing much of anything notable order flow. That's not squeeze or speculation. So nobody's taking a stand. Overall, the activities become more mixed. Speculative call buying has slowed down considering. All right. So everybody's made their monies at 11:25 after a weekend. You know what I mean? AMD, DB, nothing going on. Let's go to TradeGATEHub. Any questions? I did need a short. I was right. Look where that was, where I said an hour ago, I need them short. TradeGATEHub. There are nice pictures. TradeGATEHub. All right, TradeGATEHub. I'm on 2 TradeGATEHubs. Gina, help me. No, I'm only kidding. APO bearish, lucid rallies. APO bearish, SPY bullish. XPI, SPY bullish. Oh, the market's APO. Is it APO or ASO? APO is a financial. Not interested. It's ASO has been hot. Look at ASO. Listen, I'm long this BGHV. And it's American Sports Academy. That makes the sporting goods is just going up every day. Look at it, ASO, and I'm long 40,000 BGFE. This stock should be $15, $16 right now. I should sell it, but what do you got? ES bounces as VIX stalls. That's what I just heard. Somebody ping me, if you will. So the VIX stalled. What is today? The VIX stalled. And the ES is bouncing. All right. So the people watching the VIX and the SPYs, now they're trying to time the market. The DAX making a nice move up. This is on the public Jesus feed that just came across my way. DAX. So what does Jesus think about the DAX? Making 3 big days nice up. That was collapsing 3 days ago. It was over. Let's go to the public Jesus feed. I'll even interpret it that way. Okay. He posted the same thing here. He was actually posting a lot. GM mixed of it later today. GM. All right. See, early acts. He's posted public Jesus feed. He's posting a lot on the public. I should be mad. I pay a lot of money for the private feed. He's posting a lot of the private and public stuff. But I get it. We can all help everybody else. There's the key events to watch this week. So you know what? He's doing good stuff for people. Let's go back. Let's go with movers. Let's go with bar chart. Let's finish that. No, we're not going to go with bar chart. We're going to go with stock screener. The only thing we care about right now is 11, 20, 30, 25. When there's only speculation going on is this. Hold on, let me new share. Oh, is this. Up on high relative volume. There it is. Clovis, SBPI, 2 bios. Bristol Myers had earnings. CDE a minor. Carvana had news. AMC, NIO still going. I mentioned every one of these. Mike V, value added. Time. Apple, how you doing? Mentioned that too. NI, no interest. CI, AMCR. So it's down on high relative volume that we might be interested in maybe shorting or fading. Let's even go by time. No, let's go by relative volume. That's hypocritical. CF, not Gerard had it early. Nice word, G Money. BTBE, that's a what do they call that thing? Crypto guy. Moss. So when I see CF, I think of Moss, right, guys? You got to know the groups. CSIQ giving back a Solar's giving back a little. Meta. Now Meta's down. Oh, Meta was up too. Come on. I can do that for me. Oh, Meta just bounced nicely though. Meta had a big bounce. So that's what I'm saying. That's all I see from now, guys. Any questions? I'll leave it at that. G Money, you good? Coach, I'll watch the video after. Bravo. Thanks for helping out last week. Need to know market risk. This is, by the way, if you don't have Swing Trade Bot, it's free. This guy, dude. I don't know what he does or how he do it. Very simple. Rose above previous day's high. Very simple. So look at a couple of charts. What would I be interested in? Nothing. 44 seconds ago, nothing. 50 seconds ago, 20-day support. I got the 20, actually, it's a 21-day. Twitter. Okay, let's look at Twitter now. Actually, Twitter, you know what? I don't even want to look at it. Oh, you know what? Let's look at it. It's a chart. It can't be having ego. Twitter. Well, you know what? News prone. Tesla's going up, which is good for the big guy, but I don't know what he's going to do. But Twitter. And that's it. Nothing else, guys. All right. So if I have any questions, I'll leave it off. Thank you for sharing. Have a plan. And I'll see you back after lunch. I'm here all week, and I'm going to continue to be here until it gets snow. You can't see the office window. Believe me, it's going to start snowing about a month and a half. So, again, have a plan. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks, guys. Cheers. Trade well.